Welcome to Reset to Healthier Relationships. It's Sunday night at 9. This is our circle of gathering where we tell the truth about love, life, and healing, and where we remind each other that we don't have to walk this journey alone. Tonight, we're having a real conversation about something that touches every one of us: soul ties and energy transfers in relationships. These bonds go deeper than feelings. They shape our energy, our choices, and the way we carry ourselves every day. Some of us know the weight of ties that still linger, connections that drain us, that replay in our spirit long after they're gone. Others of us have experienced ties that restore us, strengthen us, and remind us of our worth. Both are real, both are powerful. And tonight we are naming them, learning from them, and choosing to heal. This space is about honesty, about releasing shame, and about building each other up. So lean in, share your heart, and let's do this together, because here in this space, it's always about real talk and real healing. And again, I say welcome, and I'm going to allow my course manager and co-host to tell you a little bit about himself, Mr. Rufus Carpenter.
Good evening, everybody. I am still rocking and reeling from last week. I mean, if you were still last week, you know what I'm talking about. Once again, my name is Rufus Carpenter, and I am the course manager here at Reset the Healthy Relationship Sunday night at 9. My background is a little different than most. I come to this space by being in a family of 14 children and 2 adults. 16 people lived in a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. And we never had enough of anything. So I remember one weekend going out and doing different chores and errands and things for the people in the community. I cut grass, chopped wood. I even went as far as went by the highway and picked up soda bottles and soda cans and pop bottles and got the refund for that. That whole weekend, I made $35 and some change. I remember running up to my mom and, hey, mom, here's what I got. Look. And she said, oh, baby, look what you got. And when she counted the money out, she said, oh, wow. And she cried. And she gave me like $1 and some change for myself. Said, baby, this is for you. And she kissed my forehead. That changed my life. And I was about 9 years old. So that changed my life. Ever since then, I found joy in helping. I found joy in being part of the solution. I found joy in being part of the bigger picture, helping people. So that's why I'm on Sunday night at 9 today, to tell you the truth. I enjoy this community support of Sunday night at 9. But my background didn't stop there. I joined the United States Army, and one of the jobs I had in the United States Army was a human and race relation leader, where I had the responsibility of going to any of our Army units that had either a relationship problem or a race problem or a communication kind of problem. I'd be the first person on the scene and did what's called an intake form. And with the intake form, I would decide what level of authority or resources we had to throw at solving that problem. So I got a diverse background of handling relationship issues in a diverse environment. And plus, Sunday night at 9 is designed where you and 20 of your girlfriends are here on a Sunday night. It's 9 o'clock, the kids are in bed. You know, you might have a glass of wine to relax, and you got 20 of your girlfriends in your living room with you, and this for the sole purpose of a sisterhood, talking about your relationship issues and triumphs. And when you talk about these relationship issues and triumphs, you know, you really relax, you're sincere, because you want to help the sister beside you get an understanding on what's going on in her life. Because where else do you learn these type of things at? You don't learn it in a church. You don't learn it in school. And Lord forbid if you learn it in the street. So that's why we're here today, to work with you on that. So relax, let's have some fun, and share your truth, because the sister right beside you, she may be going through the same stuff that you just conquered and just had a breakthrough with. And in your mind, she's doing really well. Everything's fine with her. But the deal is, she's dressing her situation up a lot better than you think. You think she's good. That girl's raggedy than a bowl of y'all. You can't see what's going on in her house. So if you let just her hearing you say it and you survived it, she says, wow, if Glenda can do it, so can I. So let's be encouraging tonight, okay? But before I do that, Glenda, can I take a moment to review last week? Because last week last week was a tremendous good week. And the audience, I got to thank you. You guys brought some awesome questions. You guys brought some awesome comments. You were very open and very truthful. And last week we had, the topic is spiritual connection, soul ties, energy transfers in relationship, and understanding a deeper emotional bond. And when you look at all, that's a lot. That's an awful lot. But we all know this. This is what we are. All of us know this. We know about soul ties. We've heard it before. We know about it. And we doggone sure know what energy drain is. We know when a person is sapping our energy and our strength from us and our resources. We definitely know that one. So everybody got in last week. Everybody said their part, which made it really, really good. But last week, we only talked about the energy part of it. We only talked about the drain of your energy. And we talked about when it's positive, and when a person is positive energy and your energy match their energy, they bring you up. You tend to be more relaxed, more up, and more positive things are happening in a relationship. You guys are growing together, you're vibing together, the frequency is right on one. That's great. But when the person bringing negative energy to you, they drain you. They suck the life right out of you. They bring you down. You start having all these problems. You are having these cycles of discomfort. You be having these cycles of doubt, dependency. It don't work. It just don't work. And we really got deep into energy last week. So we're not going to go so deep into energy this week. You're going to go more into soul ties this week. Soul ties is really where it's at, because that's the spiritual connection. It can be even a physical bond. It can be a relationship or intimate relationship with your boo, your mate. It can also be a bond with your sister, your brother, your cousin, the landlord, the postman, your doctor, your school teacher, your co-worker at work.
And whatever you may dislike about her.
Okay. Hey, that's you, Ava. That can be any of that. So that's why we're going to talk about soul ties and talk about bonds, because soul ties, the relationship between you and that person is so strong. And it affects the way you show up in the relationship. It affects the way you carry yourself. And it can even affect long after the relationship over with. You still have that bond. I can remember a friend of mine named Clinton Jennings. He was born January 1st. I was born January 15th and 16th. I got 2 days, by the way. I was born those 2 days. But me and him, even today, there's a relationship between me and him. And I haven't seen him in about 8 years. But we're still close because that we have that as little kids, we grew up together. So those things are super, super important. All right. But we have, Glenda, I know I'm going a little long-winded, but we got into one of the issues with last week. We introduced something called 7D. And 7D wasn't really the conversation. The conversation was Sharon had made a comment about how she have people, how do you handle a person that whenever you bring up something that they are doing wrong, or you bring their attention to something that how it affects you in a relationship, they always, instead of them owning up to their fault or addressing what you're talking about, they shift it to you and say, hey, you don't lie, you don't never do this, you don't never have anything wrong. And instead of them addressing a simple problem, something they can handle real simple, they throw it off on you and say you got problems, and they talk about the problems you have instead of dealing with the problems on the board. And Sharon brought that up, and we went through that as a group. We handled it as a group. And one of the things we realized that this type of problem is dealt with communication. You need communication tools. When you have a disconnect because a person's not understanding or not getting or want to understand or can't seem to comprehend what's being said, then you have to bring out communication tools. And you know, one we all of us are very familiar with our first tool we use is start, stop, and continue. And start, stop, and continue is a good tool to use if you and the person is on the same frequency. You guys are energies are vibing, and you just want to make the relationship go further, and you want to get further faster. That's what it start, stop, and continue for. But if you got somebody that stops, it's a stop. It's a hard stop that they just don't get it, or don't seem to get it, or don't want to get it, or can't get it, or don't have the ability to get it. This is when the tool called 7 Deep is very, very, very useful. And we went as far as me and Sharon went as far and did a live demonstration of 7 Deep last week. And in that 7 Deep, we went deep. We went deep. And it was so deep that we sent everybody a copy of last week's study. And everybody should have a copy of that last week's study, right? If you got a copy of it, email to you, put yes in the chat. If you got the copy of the email and the study guide of last week, put yes in the chat. And in that, you should have had a copy of the 7 Deep. And the 7 Deep is a tremendous tool to help you solve a lot of communication problems. It's a higher level communication tool, okay? And this is what brings me to where Mr. Kingdom said that the 7 Deep is great and good and all that, but he said it did not address Sharon's problem. He said it didn't make the person or want the person to take ownership of where they're at. All it did was tell how a person feel and that kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, Mr. Kingdom, I'll let you bring your comment to the floor instead of me bringing it to the floor. I'll let you bring it to the floor. Do you remember last week, Mr. Kingdom?
I remember yesterday.
You're funny.
Well, man, I had so much going on this week, man. I don't remember what happened yesterday.
Well, I'll help you remember. You said your exact words were, Mr. Carpenter, I understand 7 Deep is a good tool and all that, but it did not address Sharon's problem. Is Sharon still you on tonight, Sharon?
Yes, I am.
Do you remember what your problem was last week when you said the guy said like he'll say dumb stuff like you don't lie? Explain your problem again, and then we'll go through it again and help Mr. Kingdom remember.
Okay, it was basically Mr. Kingdom gave some good advice last week. It was basically saying what you read off. You read off with the person. If you bring something up to a person, bring it to their attention, and the first thing they holler is, "So you don't lie," or "So you saying you don't do this," instead of addressing the issue. You know, they throw it off like as if they throw it like as if it's my problem. They sidestep the problem. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep, and
how you read it? Sorry, I'm sorry, Rufus.
Yeah, you
how
finished?
You read it? Go ahead, Rufus.
No, you haven't finished? I'm sorry, you wouldn't.
No, I was saying you read it correctly. You read it
okay,
just how.
Good. And Mr. Kingdom said it didn't make the person take ownership, or it didn't address the problem at hand there, and that's what we stalled out. And we said we're going to be the first thing we start this week. Now, since Mr. King don't remember, everybody, I think anybody else on the line, do you remember? Do you think how Sharon and I did the 7 Deep did address the problem Sharon had? And let's get your comments first before Glenn and I weigh in. Anyone want to be the first to unmute and be on there and let us know your thought of last week's 7 Deep? Did it address the problem, or did it skirt the problem, or what do you think?
Okay. Andre, did you want me to read your chat or your message, or you want to speak on it yourself?
I was just asking the question, were you referring to the skit where you all did the 7 questions?
Yes. And did the skit address the issue with her mate or her friend or whoever that was? Did it bring light to the situation at all?
It might have made her forget her question, because I know I kept listening to you guys go back and forth to, I think y'all saying why I love you or something, why I like you. Mm-hmm. And then by the time I got to the 7th, I couldn't remember what the original question was.
Okay, got it. I'm glad you said it like that. Anybody else?
I think what it was doing, or what it did, was it showed you how if you present to your partner tell me why you love me or whatever, it can bring them to communicate. But I think in reference to what she was saying, it didn't really clarify it, because what she was trying to say is like the person just can't see what they're doing or what they're saying.
Okay. No, didn't clarify. Got question. Okay. Anyone else? Somebody put I agree. I saw I saw agree in there. Who was that, Glenda?
Sharon put in the chat, I agree with Andre.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
It didn't really. We did the 7 deep thing, but it
Uh-huh.
didn't really address like Mr. Keenan was saying. It didn't really address like what the issue was. What we're talking about.
Address. Okay. Didn't address. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Anybody?
I would say the same. Yeah, I would say the same thing. It didn't address what the issue was, because it was just a bunch of questions of why you love me, but what was the actual problem?
Okay. Okay. All right. Anyone else? We got first, we've got by the time we got to 7 deep, they couldn't remember the original question. Then it said it didn't bring clarity. And then it said what was a real issue. It didn't just talk about the real issue.
Correct. All the above.
Any more before we kind of weigh in a little deeper on this one? Hey, somebody just hey, hi, whoever that's new, hi, welcome aboard. Go ahead. You gonna say something, Mr. Kingdom?
I was.
Go ahead.
That 7D is a good tool to use, but that's similar to the tool of sitting down right now on a piece of paper, pros and cons of your relationship. The two of you sitting down together and then comparing the pros and cons. That 7D is digging into ways to go back to the beginning of the relationship. That's what that 7 deep does. You start asking questions back and forth. Why do you love me? Why do you love me? It's like, what do you see in me? What do you want from me? Stuff like that. It didn't address taking accountability of ignoring what's bothering the other person. I think the original question, thing she brought up was more or less relating to, I'm telling you what you're doing that bothers me, and you brushing it off and just ignoring it and disregarding my feelings.
Okay.
And the 7D had nothing to do with touching the problem or why they're brushing it off the way that they did.
Okay. Awesome. Any more? And is someone got to brush off any more before we any more? Okay, I guess we've cleared the board, right? Okay, since
I'm still trying to learn that question that I asked at the end. Nobody's telling me what my question was.
Yeah, your question was you couldn't see the relevance of 7 deep with her question, with her comment. You said it didn't address her comment. It didn't fix or it didn't make the person take your actual word was it didn't make the person accountability or responsibility for what they were saying. Those are your actual words that you did say.
Okay, so it wasn't a question, it was a statement then.
It was statement and question, because you said first you were saying you can't see, you're wanting to see how it correlated with the question was what you originally said. But as you explained it more, you brought your point out very clearly that it didn't make the person take responsibility for their fault in that question, because they kept throwing the blame on the other person.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Mr. Keenan, he clarified it because he was saying, well, if that continued, then it's time to walk away.
Okay.
I think so.
Yep. He said that time to walk away. You know what?
Know what?
Go ahead, Mr. Kingdom.
I think I remember parts of that. It's slowly coming back. Okay. I made the comment, if I remember correctly, the 7 deep had nothing to do with the question, as far as I'm concerned, but it was a good tool. And I brought up that if a person don't take accountability and keep brushing you off, it's considered a red flag. And with us knowing and loving ourselves, it's our mindset to accept it or reject it. And in my case, if you're not going to take accountability of your actions, I see in the future, this is a continuous thing. I'm getting out of it. I'm walking away. Because you know what you're getting into. Why dig yourself deeper into it, knowing the outcome is going to be the same or get worse? Walk away from it. Let it go.
Okay. Any more? Any more comments? Anything in the chat, Glenda, before I jump on?
It's nothing in the chat right now.
Okay, going once. Anybody else? Any alibis before I jump in?
Go
Oh,
ahead, Rufus. With that smile you got, go ahead.
no, Dr. Johnson's smiling harder than I am. Okay. 7 Deep. I'm glad you guys said that. Everything you said was right. 7 Deep is an individual tool. It makes everybody feel something different. 7 Deep make you look at yourself. 7 Deep make you pull back a layer, like an onion. You pull back a layer, and you see what's really, really, really important. You make a person show their whole card. When you play cards and you want to know what a person got in their hand, and you playing against the hand and you don't know how to win because you can't see their cards, 7 Deep make the person show their hand. That's what 7 Deep does. That's why everybody came up with something very different. And Mr. Kingdom, your last comment you said was the sole purpose 7 Deep. You said if a person don't take responsibility and to keep it up, it's a red flag. And you said you're gonna leave them. It's time to go, correct?
I did.
Okay. Now think about it. When you sat down and asked a person, "Why do you love me?" 7 times, and they can't figure it out. And if somewhere in that's 1 to 7, it don't come right. Is it easier? Is it easier to think about whether you're gonna go and stay?
But then, Rufus,
Yes,
it's
sir.
coming back. That's 7 Deep and everything. The conversation you all had is coming back slowly. You'll remember she went off strip at one point. She didn't tell you why she loved you. She was telling you what she liked about you.
That's the same thing.
Remember that? No, it's a difference.
No, not in her mindset. She's talking about how she felt, not how me and you perceive it. It's how it's an individual tool. All of us don't identify love and emotion intimately the same.
Well,
So
can
you
I
got
say
to
something
realize
about
she's
the
talking
7
about herself. Go ahead.
Okay, what I wanted to say, what I took from after I re-looked at the taping, what I took from 7 Deep, it made me realize how much the person either valued me or didn't value me to the point that I was satisfied.
Red flag.
That's it. That's it. Because if a person not taking responsibility in a relationship, and I think Sharon kind of mentioned that it got on her nerves to the point where she was through with that person. Was that correct, Sharon?
Yeah, and it's not a relationship. It's just a person that I know from
Correct.
church. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. It was like
Correct.
I'm kind of talking to this person because I see nothing in it. It just drives me nuts.
So you don't know parts, and that's why you sit down and say, when you 7 Deep is, and 7 Deep, why is you so when you sit down 7 Deep, why is my friendship important to you? And then he'll say, because you show up on Sunday with candy and we do this, or okay, then you say, really, why? And if you say it's friendship, you can use 7 Deep for any part of your life, any subject. It's just the way you phrase it. And the deal is, you don't let the person say, "Well, I like you because you're cute," or "I don't like you." You make them really think. You make them get deep. You peel that onion back, and if you peel that onion back far enough, they'll really tell the truth. It's hard not to tell the truth. About the fifth, somewhere between 5 and 7, a person they subconsciously tell on themselves. They show their cards. Everybody should have a copy of that 7 Deep. Do it with somebody you know. Do it with your boyfriend, husband, wife, or even do it with a friend. So why is our friendship important to you? Just sit down with somebody and you'll be surprised what you say. Not so much what they say. You'll be surprised what you say. Because Sharon and we did it, and we were like play script, but it took the play script out. We got real. We got very personal, real on air. You just can't help it. So all you guys was right in that 70. All that was right. Because the deal is you want it to either stop the dumb stuff with that person you're going with and get them to realize if we don't stop this dumb stuff, we don't have a relationship. So in order for us to have a relationship, you got to actually care. You got to actually put up. You got to actually you got to show up clearly. You got to show up with respect. And you got to uphold your end of it. It's a union. Whether it's a friendship, whether it's a courtship, or whatever it is. So you guys are all right. You guys, all y'all are right because it's an individual tool.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
On this second deep thing. Now, you're looking at it one-sided, Rufus. I'm that what's called advocate, and you know, because I'm looking at it one-sided. Right now, you're using that tool, trying to get the best and the good parts out of it. Well, being on the other side, what if you come up with something negative and it hit me hard? Am I supposed to react with something negative for you?
No, you're supposed to tell your side, not their side. Because they say something negative, tell me you gotta say something negative.
You're missing my question. You're missing my question.
Please make it clear.
Okay.
And if we go back the whole audience, anybody in the audience can answer too, not just me, Rufus. Anybody in the audience can answer too.
What I'm saying, we're looking at, okay, the question is, why do you love me? That's what we're asking. All right. What if it gets flipped, like she went off strip and it come up with something about maybe, what if you do this? Let me see. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this way you can understand.
Can I say something right quick while you're trying to think this?
Yes.
Okay, listen. Okay, now I just realized the 7D can go either way. Instead of saying, why do you love me? You can say, what problems do we have in this relationship? What problems do you see this friendship or relationship having? And could it also be used like that, Rufus?
Yes, it's your individual tool. It's your individual tool.
I'm glad you put it that way because it helped me to explain where I'm getting at now. If it goes off strip and go backwards to the negative part, okay? How would the average person, what if they can't take that criticism? Where would it lead that 7 deep to the end?
It would leave that 7 deep right where it is. What it would do is add you guys. Then you guys got another issue you got to deal with. It's not an issue of 7 deep. It's an issue with a relationship. The relationship is fine. Just the people need support. Then because if you and a person in a relationship and the person can't get past 7 deep, then you might need to support your partner. There's times when you have to support your partner. You have to work with your partner and say, okay, babe, look, I understand you're struggling with this. Let's see, how can we work together with this? And sometimes you can't fix a person. You can't do it. You have to, first you might have to seek outside counseling. You might have to go see a therapist, or they may have to go see a therapist. Because there may be some problems they need to sort out, or someone need to help them sort out. Because some of us has been traumatized. Some of us have been through some stuff. Some of us have grief. Some of us have PTSD in relationships. Some of us, we've seen our parents beat each other up so much. That's all we know. We don't know love. We think love is I bring my money home and whip your butt and you cook and we straight. They don't know. You don't. And especially this day and time with modern relationships, some people do what they're big and bad enough to do. This is a mean world.
Mr. Carpenter.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Andre put in the chat, like if a person says, I love you because you're rich and you can buy me what I want.
That may be their love. Their love may be for money.
But that's a red flag.
That's a big flag.
It all depends. Wait a minute. Wait, stop. And I'm not, you got to in modern relationships, well, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this, but I have to say this. Sometimes in modern relationship, it's a transaction, not necessarily always a love.
Mm.
For every action, there's a reaction.
Correct. Correct.
So if someone says to you, the reason they're with you is because you can buy the stuff that I want and you're rich, a reaction would be that that's not why I'm with you.
For
Okay.
you.
Now hold on, listen.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen. Back to the original question that brought this up, or it's about somebody taking accountability. Okay. Now, in this case, it's not about accountability anymore. It's about a person being able to accept constructive criticism. Because a lot of time people can't take it, and what they do is they shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm not going to communicate with you at all.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't finna hurt my feelings, and I'm going back and forth with you. You understand? So now they shut down. So what happens to your 7 deep then?
Well,
Man, I don't want to do this shit no more.
they never got 7 deep. Then it's a problem. They never got 7 deep. They never got to the point where they let themselves go. They never were vulnerable in that situation. 7 deep makes you very vulnerable.
Right, but everybody can't take it, so therefore
but you got to
it
realize
only
something.
works on certain ones.
You have to give them a safe place. They have to feel safe and nurturing in that relationship.
Rufus.
Yes, sir.
Rufus.
Uh-huh.
No matter how safe you get, no matter how comfortable you get, no matter how secure you get, when you start going back and forth, it's like in an argument. When you start going back and forth, you don't know which way that's going at the end, and neither do they.
That's
so
correct.
Therefore, everything starts off with good expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But before the end of the day, that shit can go to left field.
Correct. That's
when I say
true.
left field, I'm talking about a home run. Do you understand? So therefore, back to Andre's thing is because you're rich and can buy me things, that's a red flag. It's time for me to move on. Because just like, let me see, who was that? Was that Gigi that I said that she was different the last time when we was talking? You understand? She don't need this and she don't need that. But it all depends on what the other person is willing to do and to help her and be there.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? If I was to tell Gigi, I'm with you because you can buy me things, what you think Gigi gonna do to me?
It all depends on, you got Mr. Kingdom, you got to realize there's something called modern relationships. Modern relationship, people come together and they decide what their relationship looks like. Now, traditional relationships, yes, everything's you love me, I love you, we work together on this, and we wish our relationships were that way. But some people get together and they sit down and say, this is the vision of our relationship. This is what we want. And sometimes it's a transaction. I hate to say it.
You're right. You're right. Because see, when you look at it that way, that's where communication comes into play from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When you first get in it, some people's got their poly in their mind. Some people's are swingers. Mm-hmm. Some people is same sex. You understand?
Yep.
It's the beginning communication that you have. And that's something that you got to address as when you start an outline, you got to put a topic up there and then you got to branch off of that off that topic to do your outline, right?
Yeah, but Mr. Kingdom, we're saying the same. You and I are saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing. You got to realize something. You're not going to do it with you're not going to sit down and do a 7 deep with a stranger. You can do 7 deep with somebody you got a relationship with. Someone that you and them are trying to get somewhere. You're trying to go up the road a piece. You're trying to open the line of communication. You're trying to be very vulnerable. You're trying to be very open and honest in your relationship. You're trying to get to your truth.
That's my point I'm trying to get across to you. You start that because you're comfortable and you're in that type of relationship. Mm-hmm. But as you get into that 7 deep, it can automatically like turning the light switch off and go the opposite way.
But you got to, Mr. Kingdom, that's the beauty of that too. What happens, happen. You can't predict what happened. If it's good, bad, whatever happens, happen. That's what 7 Deep is all about, sir.
I don't know. The more I think about it now, that's a dangerous tool.
It is a dangerous tool if you don't want to be honest and open. It is. If you don't want to be open and honest, it is dangerous. It's very dangerous.
Well, you're open and honest in your relationship. Well, I prefer that you're open and honest anyway.
Well said.
But is that a chance you're willing to take?
If me and the person commit each other, heck yeah, let's do it. I'd much rather know than don't know. Okay, in the chat, put in the chat if you want to know, if you would do a 7 Deep with your partner or your boo, put yes. If you don't want to know, put no in the chat, and we'll see how many no's and how many yeses in there. We'll let the audience vote. And somebody came on new, and I don't know if they know what a 7 Deep is. And for the person that came on new, I think it was somebody that came on an iPhone. New last week we did what's called 7 Deep. We used a form. In the form we use Sharon and I. We sit down, and Sharon's my sister, and I love her, and she loves me. So we were trying to demonstrate 7 Deep. So her and I agreed that we'll sit down and say, why do we love each other as brothers and sisters? And 7 Deep is designed that you and your mate or you and your boo, whoever, sit down across from each other, and you ask each other the question, why do you love me? You do it 7 times. The guy, I'll be the guy, and the girl, I'll ask the girl, why do you love me? And I'll give, and she'll give me her answer. Then I'll ask her, why does she love me? And she'll give the answer. So you do that 7 times. And about the 3rd, 4th time is when it started getting kind of tricky, because the top of the mind stuff that comes out is gone. You know, I love you because you show up every day on time. I love you because you pay the bill, whatever that is. All that top of the mind stuff flies out. About the 3rd Deep, that stuff gone. I love you because you're cute. All that mess is gone. So about the fourth round of that, why do you love me? You don't know what to say. You really, really don't know what to say. So you start speaking from your heart and your gut. And when you start speaking from your heart and gut, what happens is you're not even aware of what you're saying. It comes out so fast you want to take it all back, but you've already said, like Mr. Kingdom said, it could be bad stuff. It could be good stuff. You don't know what's going to come out. Because when Sharon and I did it, I learned some stuff about Sharon I didn't even know. Sharon told me some stuff about me I didn't even realize. For all last week, I sit down and love, man. I'm like, every time I see Sharon's name, I just smile. Oh, goody. I mean, I just felt overjoyed all week.
Got a question?
Yes, sir.
I got a yes for doing the 7 Deep because it is a good tool on how you utilize it. My big question is, where in your relationship should you use the 7 Deep?
Anywhere you feel it's needed.
Wait. Should you use it at the beginning, once you start getting feelings, and that way you got an understanding of communication? Or should you wait until it start getting rocky and then do it to try to rectify and correct the relationship?
Let the audience answer. The audience, what do you think, audience? Okay, wait, before you say anything, Sharon, audience, when you use it when it's early in a relationship or late in a relationship. Put early in the chat, put early in the chat for the beginning relationship, put late in the chat for when you start going to problems. So in the chat, put either early or late.
What about the middle?
Okay, put middle then. Somebody else has put middle in there. I saw somebody else put middle.
Because
so put it in there. Go ahead, put it in.
I get understanding of the middle, because see, I put the beginning of when it gets rocky. Because see, when the question is at the beginning to get the understanding, if you put in the middle, that's when the problems could start in the middle.
Can I say this, Mr. Kingdom? Well, see,
yes,
in the beginning of a relationship, you really don't have the problems unless you're trying to say on the basis of saying when you realize something is wrong or when something go wrong. But how much do you really know of experience of that person to like have a certain love, that much love?
That's why when I asked, excuse me, I'm sorry. That's why when I asked the question, I said when in the beginning, when the feeling starts, when the feelings start. Because you don't just, I don't think, well, some people fall in love at first sight, but I don't think you really know a person until those feelings start dragging in. That's the beginning I'm talking about.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Hey,
But
hey,
I know
Yeah,
it well.
Linda, put in chat whenever needed for me. Put in chat, Rufus, whenever needed.
that
And,
wasn't the question. The question was the beginning, the middle, end.
and answers whenever needed. But let me share this. Let me share this. You guys got to realize something. We're building something here at Sunday Night 9. Believe it or not, we're building something. We're on a trajectory here. Remember, we started last year, said we're going to have a better relationship by December of this year coming up. We said last year. Everything we're doing is building on what where we've already been. We're pyramiding on top of each other. This right here, 7 Deep, is not by itself. 7 Deep is after we've already talked about the 5 stages of a relationship. We've already talked about that. We've already talked about attachment styles. Already talked about that. We already talked about your love language. We already talked about that. We already talked about start, stop, and continue. We already talked about that. So all of these tools are on top of each other. So now,
Well,
not only now that you know your attachment styles, you know your love language, you know the way you love, and you can notice somebody else's love language.
couldn't 7 Deep go actually a little bit further than that on the basis of it doesn't have to be either something good or something bad? Couldn't it be on different situations in y'all relationship, like how to raise the children, or
Yeah,
why do
it
you think
should
our
be.
child should go to B school, or whatever, or
It
whatever?
should be on the top of that. On the top of that sheet, you should have got and said, "This tool has the potential to shift your life fundamentally." It's also a tool that you can use in the future for anything that you do. It works in any single life situation you're given to find yourself in. Helpful hint. We recommend filling this out while watching Rufus and Glenda walk through the exercise. But this can do anything. You can do this about business. You can even ask, let's say a person come to you and say, I got a business idea I want you to get involved with. You can say, hold up. You can say, why is that business important to you, man or woman? And they say, because I can make a lot of money. Okay. Okay. Now, why is the business important to me? Because I saw my brother do it. And then by the time you get 7 Deep, you'll make a decision whether you want to get involved in that business venture or not.
Well, Rufus,
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I want to make sure everybody understands. I'm not talking negativity towards the 7D because, as I said before, it is a good tool.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't go back and say, well, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to bring up different aspects of the tool, the
Correct.
good, the bad, the ugly. You understand?
Yes.
You know what you're really getting into with it.
Yep.
You understand? So,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it is a good tool.
Mm-hmm.
And you just made a dang good point on the business part of it. You understand?
Right.
Because like if I come to you right now, which you know I'm in the investment thing right now and trying to do a business, I come to you, hey Rufus, I want you to come and be a partner with me. And then we start this 7D thing. Why you want me to be a partner?
That's it. That's
Then
it
I
right there.
do the same thing. And like I said, but then on the flip side, if it goes to left field and I see a red flag, hell no, Rufus, we good.
That's it. And that's you just got. That's the way 7 Deep works. You can
I
use
got
any
that.
situation.
I got that. Like I said, I want everybody to know that I'm not knocking. I'm just trying to put everything out there in the open.
And the thing
That's it.
about 7 Deep, you can't control it. Once you get past four, you can't control it. From 5 to 7, who knows what's coming out? You don't even know. It has a life of its own. All right. Oh wait, man, we got bogged down on that question. Let's do some more of this. Go ahead, Glenda. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to take all of the night. Go ahead, Glenda. I ain't mean to take all of the night.
Oh, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that Sharon and Mr. Kingdom, uh, got their question answered from last week, and I like the fact that we expounded on it a great deal this evening. All right, moving right along. I have a question for you guys tonight. Have you ever noticed lingering emotions from a past relationship that still affect you today?
Hell yeah.
That was quick.
You had to think about it.
Huh?
You didn't have to think about it.
Hell no. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I'm sorry.
It's
You good?
okay.
No,
Let's
it's
finish
all
up.
good.
Let me tell you why I said that, and I was quick to say it.
Okay.
It goes back to the original topic of soul ties.
Mm-hmm.
My first wife, to me, was my soul tie. She my soulmate. You understand? When a person is with somebody and they feel their pain, they ain't got to be with them, but know where they're at. You know what I mean? Without them telling them where they at. You understand? It goes that deep. And it did. Even when she divorced me and almost killed me by divorcing me, I was still connected with her to the point where, yeah, you stay in my house still. You know, after she did, knowing she with somebody else, I was still connected with her when I helped her move into her place. You understand? I've been connected with her all the way up until some months ago. And that's since 2014. And people say, well, you got a child by that wasn't my connection. I still felt I had that soul tie, that connection on that soulmate and a friendship. But then sooner or later, a person gonna really let you know what's what. So I still have that connection internal, but as far as her knowing it, hell no, she don't know. She don't know. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
That connection is still there, as you said, Glenda. But guess what? I don't act on it.
Right.
So no, she don't know. But what I will do, Cammy, you talk to your mom, how's she doing? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still keeping up, but not directly. I'm doing it indirectly.
Right.
Because that's the connection that I have.
I
Okay,
saw
I'm
something
gonna
in
answer
chat.
that question. I saw it. On
I
that
saw something in
level,
chat. I ain't gonna read that.
no, I already read it.
Are
And I'm
you?
gonna tell you, the wife that I have now, she knows the person that I am. Everyone that's in my life and that I run across, even you, Gigi, Sharon, and all the rest of you, you are friends. I don't have a sexual relationship with no one else. I'm not trying to be intimate with no one else on that level. So therefore, yes, I talked to my wife. She asked me a question. No matter what the question is, I'm gonna answer it directly and truthfully.
Awesome.
You understand? Because my life is, I'm gonna be at ease with where I'm at in my life. Meaning, when I tell you, you better be ready for the answer. Because whether it's good or bad, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And we're gonna go ahead and get it out.
Okay, I think someone asked you a question. Is that
Am
for
I
him?
emotionally in love? No, I'm not emotionally in love. I don't go on emotions.
Okay.
Emotion can get you hurt.
Okay. Anyone else want to answer Glenda's question about lingering emotions?
From a past relationship that still affects you today.
Everybody quiet on that one now. Everybody got quiet.
They all might be delivered. The rest of us might be delivered.
I'm just gonna
I
cough.
mean, you know what?
I'm
Let
just
me
gonna
just
cough.
say this. Let me say this though. Let me say this. We as humans shouldn't be afraid to speak up on those type questions. Understand? We shouldn't be afraid of it. Because at one point in time, I don't care how bad or how good your ex was to you or how that relationship was, you're going to reflect back on it one way or another or in some point in time. So either way it go, you still going to have that same quote unquote tie that you just asked. It could
I
be
was gonna be
negative or
quiet.
positive.
I was gonna be quiet, but I'm like an old refrigerator. I can't keep nothing. So I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. So that's especially for me. I've noticed lingering emotion because I remember a friend. I had a friend, and it was soul tie as a friend. You know, we didn't have it. We didn't have a relationship with soul tie as a friend. But I circled when future. You know, fast forward, I was able to circle back, and when I circled back, hey, it really blossomed. That soul tie really was still there, and it really blossomed. So, I can say, well, hey, it's a benefit. All soul
That's what
ties
I
ain't
just
bad.
said. That's what I just said. At some point in time, you're gonna reminisce.
Yeah,
It's in your nature to do that.
yeah, it ain't bad. And the thing about it, time don't mean a thing. It was years and years, and it seemed like yesterday. That's how smooth that is. All right. Next question, Glenda, before we get in trouble.
Okay, the next question says, what signs help you recognize when a connection is uplifting versus draining?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
When a person gets sick and tired of being sick
Again,
and
please.
tired,
Can you read
Okay.
that again, please?
I sure can. What signs help you recognize when a connection is uplifting versus draining?
when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired,
Uplifting bonds you grow. It nurtures your soul. It make you feel good. It makes you feel good when you're around that person. It makes you feel the connection is genuine. It makes you feel that you and that person are vibing together. You and that person are the same frequency. You and that
and
person are growing each other together. That's a good connection. Where the flip side, that draining connection, when you leave a person, you just drain. You don't have nothing left. Matter of fact, you get tired of your own self. When you get around a person that's draining you, you don't even like your own self when you're around them. You don't like them. You don't even like yourself. When you leave them, you like Homer Simpson. You just drain, and you be saying, "What the heck going on? I don't want to do nothing." It's almost and I don't smoke. I don't smoke, so don't. It's almost like you see somebody want to sit on the couch and smoke a joint and just let the day just go right by them. Just go up and smoke.
that's that's the epic syndrome.
Yep. Just go up and smoke. They done drained you, boy. You ain't got none of what is
Red
Gigi?
flag, Gigi.
What you just say? What is
She said, I can't do it. I have to leave.
Red flags.
what's the next one, Glenda?
Okay. All right. The next one is, how do you personally recharge your spirit after giving so much energy to others?
That's
How do you personally recharge your spirit after giving so much energy to others?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
10, count back, count down. 10, 9, 8. You got to count down.
Hey, can I ask a person to answer this question? Will anybody feel offended if I ask somebody to answer this question? Will anybody feel offended?
No.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
Everybody, Dr. Johnson, answer this question for us, please. Go ahead. What's the question again, Glenda?
You have to find somebody to help refill you. After somebody has truly drained you, you have to find somebody that's going to mentor you, either counsel you, or someone that you can depend on, that you respect, that can refill you. Because you have somebody just drained you to the core of not one, just your self-esteem is gone. You don't want to do anything. You're depressed. You just have lost yourself because you allow somebody to drain you. So you have to find a way that you can be refilled again, because it could be a long down spiral if you don't.
Yep. I knew she had
I
answers.
agree. I agree with that, but now that's a partial agreement, though.
Mhm.
Doc, that's a partial because think about it. What you just said. If I'm in a relationship with my wife and I'm being drained, what if that other one, what they call side chick, is doing what she's ain't doing? That's not me working on what I got going on over here, but
Whoa.
she's giving me a new energy.
Ooh. I don't think Dr. Johnson was going there.
She wasn't, but she opened it up, which made it. Listen, when she
Yeah.
opened it up, she made it a
I,
broad statement now.
yeah,
So
Dr.
she
Johnson
opened the
ain't throw
back
you out
door
there like
too
that, now,
now.
Dr. Johnson. They ain't throw you out there like that.
She
What Dr.
did. I'm
Johnson
the
was
devil's
saying, what Dr.
advocate.
Johnson was
I
saying,
bring out the negative
so
also to open it up. That's what I do.
what Dr. Johnson was saying spiritually, it's hard to pour from an empty cup. That's what Dr. Johnson was saying. It's
I
easy
got
to
that.
pour from when in the spiritual realm, it's easy to pour from a cup that's flowing over. If your cup is flowing over, more than you can take, you can pour from that cup. But if your cup is empty, you can't pour from that. So she's saying you recharge. The recharge, it could be a pastor, it could be a minister, it could be a therapist, it could be a coach.
The
That's what
best
she was talking
recharge in the
about.
world, Lucas. The best recharge in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give it to God, let it go, and learn to love yourself. That's the best advice I give anybody.
Okay. Okay.
That's me though,
Okay.
because like I said, most of us believe in God to the highest. So
Mm-hmm.
give it to Him, leave it alone, and learn to love yourself. And then once you learn to love yourself, then you'll start growing.
Hey, Glenda, give us a couple affirmations. Give us one affirmation and give us one prompt, and then we'll let the audience say anything on the heart they want to say, and then close us out if you don't mind.
Got 3 minutes.
Okay, we have an affirmation. I release connections that no longer serve my highest good.
Can you say that one more time for me?
I release connections that no longer serve my highest good.
Awesome. All right. I think that's Mr. Kingdom statement. If it ain't working, it ain't working. Let it go. All
See
right.
ya.
What's the prompt?
Okay, and we have what boundaries or practices can you put in place to ensure your energy is honored in future relationships?
Ooh, that's a good prompt. That's a
That's
good prompt.
interesting.
That's
That's
a
interesting.
that's an interesting prompt. Awesome. Okay, that's
Proof.
awesome. Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, let's carry that particular prompt over to next week so we can really get into that one. Because
Oh,
right now, in 2 minutes, you really can't touch that one.
okay. Now we're talking about carrying that prompt. We're talking about carrying the whole thing, Glenda. What are we talking about carrying?
Mr. Keenan made a comment. He wants to,
And
I'm
Andre,
assuming
he
wants to
agreed with
know.
Mr. King.
Well, I'll tell you, that prompt goes with the whole thing. You understand? Even though we got off bases earlier,
Uh-huh.
that prompt is a broad statement and it's a good one. And I
Okay.
think that's a good topic to really get started with next week.
Okay, and Andre agree with you, Mr. Kingdom. So Glenda, you the boss lady. What we're doing, Glenda?
Excuse me, can you repeat it, Coach Glenda?
Yes, I can. What boundaries or practices can you put in place to ensure your energy is honored in future relationships?
All right, Miss Glenda, what we're doing? You make decision. You the
Yes,
boss lady.
that can be the topic for next week.
Okay, so you would now you want to make a brand new topic of that, or you want to take this as part of the same topic and carry everything over next week? What are we doing, Glenda? So I know I
Brand new
understand.
topic.
A brand new cop, but this is the topic though.
But now it's an extension as well now.
What are you talking about?
Trust me, I'm gonna bring back the past 2 weeks, Mr. Kingdom.
No, I ain't going back 2 weeks now.
All right,
But
so
I,
we
I,
bring
I
that.
want I want to know,
Okay,
and I ain't trying to hold us up. I want to know
brand new.
what
We bring it
food.
brand new. Sharon said brand new. So Andre and
It's
Sharon.
brand new, but I'm just
Got it.
saying, I want to know what to do.
We
I
got
need to
it. Glenda, bring us home, and then we know what we're doing for next week. Next week it'll be a brand new topic, and that'll be the topic. Go ahead, Glenda,
All
bring
right.
us home.
Okay, tonight we proved that when men and women come together in honesty and love, healing happens. We face the truth about soul ties and energy transfers, the bonds that either fuel us or keep us bound. And we reminded ourselves that we have the power to choose to guard our energy, to release what drains us, and to nurture the ties that bring us joy and strength. Carry this into your week. Not every connection deserves access to your spirit. Your soul is precious, your energy is sacred, and your love is powerful. Choose wisely. Thank you for showing up for yourself and for your sisters and brothers tonight. Together, we've shared real talk, embraced real healing, and strengthened our sisterhood and brotherhood. See you next week at Sunday night at 9. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Anybody want to say anything? We've got to ask anybody want to say anything before we close out. Anybody in the audience want to say anything that's on the heart or anything want to say before we close out?
I'm looking forward to the cruise in October. I know that. I need a break.
Okay. All right, everybody. Great job tonight. See you next week.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Enjoy the rest of your day, your week, your evening.
Good night.
Good night.